Secretary Blinken, reportedly there are disagreements between you and the Israeli government about the way forward regarding the timetable. Is there a time limit from the U.S. point of view on the operation, on the continuation of the operation in Gaza? And another question, there are about 140 hostages still left in Gaza. Many of them are reportedly severely injured, and yet the Red Cross hasn't yet visited them. Can you clarify if this was indeed included in the agreement, and if it was, why isn't it being implemented, and why is Israel pressured to continue to expand the humanitarian assistance to Gaza while the Hamas does not let humanitarian access to our hostages?
Good. Thank you. First part of the question. We support, continue to support, will continue to support Israel's efforts to do everything possible to ensure that Hamas cannot repeat the horrors of October 7th. And that means, among other things, that Hamas cannot remain responsible for governance in Gaza, and it cannot retain the capacity to repeat those attacks. How Israel does it, those are decisions for Israel to make. But as I've said, we also believe it's very important that in engaging in that effort, the way it does matters, makes a big difference. And as we've just discussed, the imperative of putting a premium on protecting civilians and ensuring humanitarian assistance flows into Gaza is something that is vital to us and something that the Israeli government agrees with. On the hostages, I'm not going to get into any the negotiations or any agreements, but clearly it would be very beneficial and important for the Red Cross to have access to hostages, to be able to check on their well-being and condition. Having said that, of course, none of that should be necessary because there shouldn't be any hostages in the first place. That horrific part of what Hamas did on October 7th is something that we are dealing with now every single day. The positive development is, as I said, we're now completing the 7th day where hostages have been returned to their families. And that's a very positive and powerful thing. It's something that we want to see continue. And Hamas should release everyone right now. But in the absence of doing that, and as this process, I hope, continues, yes, it would be very good for the Red Cross to have access and to see them. The question of humanitarian assistance is something fully apart from Hamas or the hostages, because this is about innocent men, women, and children in Gaza, not Hamas, who desperately need the aid, who desperately need the help. Conditions in Gaza are very, very, very difficult, severe, and the need for the most basic things, for food, for water, for medicine, for fuel to make sure that people can have clean water, they can have sewage systems that work. That's absolutely essential and imperative. And as I said earlier, particularly as we head into winter, we're already seeing the potential for disease outbreaks because, for example, of a lack of potable drinking water. So this is an imperative. It's an imperative because it's the right thing to do. It's an imperative because it's the necessary thing to do. And again, I come away convinced from my discussions with the Israeli government that they fully not only understand that, but believe that and will act on it.